book, which is always a plus for me, because I like to be serious and write into stuff, but you got to have that levity to bring it all together.
I heartily believe in putting some humor in the book. If I can't make you smile somewhere along the line in one of my books, then I feel like I've failed. Life is we have our very dark moments in life. There is no doubt about that. But no matter how dark things are, there's something else going on in your life that's lighthearted. And so that's what I try to bring to the books. Yes, Beth gets in some nasty predicaments, as you see in Beth's Defense, and again in Hot Rocks before that. But that's not the total thing of her life. She has a mother, too. And she has a boyfriend. All these things to me, are real life, and that's what I'm trying to impart. That's what I'm trying to get into my stories. You can't do the whole broad spectrum, but at least you can do bits and pieces to show that it's more than just solve the mystery.
Yeah. So how did it come to be that a male author has a female protagonist?
Well, it's unfortunately for us men, Larry, it's a hard fact that women buy the books these days. Are the highest, the largest percentage of books are sold to women, and women read them. Well, women, I've discovered, by the way, Beth is my first female, but I've got several other books with male protagonists. But the statistics say that women buy them, women enjoy reading women, and that their men, read the books the women buy. So I decided to give it a try. This was a couple of 3 years ago, to see if I could write a female protagonist. And the result was eventually Beth Bowman.
Oh, that's interesting.
I hope, Robin, I hope you think that I kept and did write this as a woman, and if I didn't, then you got to blame my critique group.
I feel you did a great job, because there is some interesting things about Beth, some nuances that have to be there in the female gender, and you've really accomplished that.
Well, thank you so much. I am fortunate. I'm in a critique group with 5 women. And when I decided to do this, I asked them, please keep me on track. I don't want to write a man in a skirt.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and trust me, they have enjoyed keeping me on track.
I bet.
That's funny. Did your work in the Army help you to better understand perhaps the legal aspect of what your characters were going through?
Well, I did some investigative work in the Army and had some investigative training, so certainly that aspect of it helps me at writing PIs, a few of the other things. And then I guess the biggest influence on me is that I love to read. I read constantly. I always have a book with me. And so as I read, I absorb. And I don't plagiarize, but I absorb. And so I absorb the techniques of other authors that I read.
Right.
And that helps me tremendously, I believe. I don't have a conscious feeling of it, but I have a subconscious feeling of it.
Sometimes throughout the story, Beth has a little bit of sadness about her, but you as the reader try to root her on to get her out of that aspect and keep on track.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping you'll do, that you'll understand that, especially in Beth's Defense, that is an awesome responsibility that she has absorbed. And I can say that it's the recovery of a kidnapped 5-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is, to me, this is one of the most despicable crimes in our country, and it's one of the reasons I wanted to write Beth's Defense. Every time I hear this or see this on TV or hear it on the radio about some poor child that's been kidnapped, I just want to reach out and strangle someone.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, really.
It is so despicable.
Yeah.
So in the book, Beth has this awesome responsibility of recovery. And it also, I hope, comes through the agony of the father, because he has made a hard choice in this. And that choice is how to get her back alive and in good health. and he's made the best judgment he can. But he's constantly second-guessing himself. He's in agony, and of course he's got a sister there with him who is not in total agreement with him. And so I hope that some of that second-guessing, that internal conflict comes through in both Beth and the father, John Hammonds. That's my goal anyway.
Well, that was a great movie trailer version, I guess.
Yeah.
And I could probably guess that your feelings, feelings as a parent often are transferable from mom to dad. So the way you were just describing the dad in some of those cases, it comes from you, but it would also come from a mom. I often have an issue when somebody says moms instead of parents, because it almost makes it seem like it almost seems like us dads are kind of left out of this whole love thing.
Exactly.
We don't love our children.
Yeah.
Exactly. Randy, I really appreciate the fact that you came on today. The book is called Best Defense. The new one is. The other one that was, I guess, is it a prequel or no?
No, it's just book 1 in the series and then book 2 in the series.
And that was called Hot Rocks, right?
Hot Rocks, that's correct.
So how do we get I have a copy of the book. I want to mention that. So if I have a listener who wants the one I have of Best Defense, call me and I'll leave it for you here. Randy, how do we get it? Do you have a website?
Yes, I have a website. It is www.randyrawls, that's RandyRawls.com. It's also available through the bookstores. Hopefully it's on the shelf, but if it's not, you can ask them to order your copy. And one of the places that I like to plug, if I may, is a bookstore here in Delray Beach called Murder on the Beach Mystery Bookstore. And Joanne, who runs the store, stocks my books and treats me like a real author, which I appreciate greatly. And she sells over the Internet also. So, Murder on the Beach, Mystery Bookstore here in Delray Beach. But it should be available in a lot of bookstores because my publisher, Midnight Ink., does wide distribution to the bookstores.
And and since they're available on Amazon, people can go there,
yes.
get the book and leave a review, which is really important.
Yes. I would love to have reviews on Amazon. It's available as an ebook on Amazon or as a Dead Tree book on Amazon, so people can go there. It's also available at the other online bookstores, too, Barnes and Noble, etc.
Well, you've written
not as an ebook.
Well, you've written something really wonderful. It's a great book, something I couldn't put down, and I'm looking forward to your next one. Really, truly.
Thank you so much.
We got to get the first one too, right?
Yeah,
we got to get Hot Rocks.
I have to read that one too.
Yeah. Randy, thank you so much for being on the air in the only state not having a winter right now.
Yeah.
That's only part of the country, maybe.
Yeah, right. Randy, thank you so much. Have a great Christmas season, and come back with your next book.
Thank you very much. I'd love to talk to you again down the line.
Great interview. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
Hurricane season is upon us. WOCA and Sunbelt Rentals wants you to be prepared. Sunbelt Rentals has the equipment to help, like air nailers, aerial